I met Emily in the music program of our college. A few weeks into school, I saw her and Mallory from a distance at a football game and started talking to her at school soon after.
At one point, I told my sister that I thought this kid at school had a crush on me. I thought it was cute. Nearly 2 years later, I ended up marrying that kid.
As soon as we were married, we moved to St. Louis and entered into a season of 4 jobs and my very full-time school schedule. We knew having more children was a desire, but we made the decision to wait to start trying until I was done with school.
One of the ways that we find great fulfillment and purpose in our marriage is by creating together, whether that be music, food, photography, or a hospitable home. Creating a child together is something that we both greatly desire.
From the beginning of our relationship, I've had a front row seat to the love of a parent for their child. I've seen good days and hard days, but I know that it is a relationship and a love unlike any other on earth, and I want so badly to experience it firsthand.
And while I have fond memories of being pregnant with Mallory, which was almost 13 years ago, another desire of mine is to get to share the experience and the adventure of pregnancy with Micah. And we both desire to give Mallory a sibling.
For the last 3.5 years, we've been trying to get pregnant unsuccessfully. We've seen 3 different fertility specialists, gone to countless appointments, and have spent lots and lots of money, all to have them tell us that we're facing unexplained infertility.
In 2015, we lost 2 babies in the span of 3 months due to early term miscarriages. Those babies would have been born in February and April of 2016. After our second miscarriage, our doctor discovered that I'm homozygous for a genetic blood clotting disorder, which basically means that I have a higher tendency to develop blood clots. So there's a good chance that has played a role in the miscarriages that we've had. In fact, one of our doctors said he can't really explain my healthy pregnancy with Mallory.
So we've tried several preliminary fertility treatments. Emily has undergone more tests and procedures than I can count, and it's all put us on what feels like an endless roller coaster every single month of try, wait, hope, and defeat.
And when that's the pattern that's repeated for what has now been 40 months, trying is filled with tension, it becomes torturous to wait, and hope is mixed with a lot of pain. Every twinge in my body makes me wonder, tempts my mind to hope. I begin to think, if this is the month I could tell Micah like this, or we could announce it to our family like that. We could be having a baby around this date. Every month I take lots of early pregnancy tests, all to finally discover that this month isn't the month either.
After these failed attempts, our specialists agreed that the next step in treatment would be mini IVF, or in vitro fertilization. In a nutshell, Emily will be given several medications, plus an additional blood thinning shot to combat her clotting disorder. The goal of the medication is to get her to produce multiple eggs. Once the doctors gather the eggs through an operation, they will be fertilized in a lab and begin dividing. After a few days, get this, the embryos are frozen and all the cell division comes to a halt. No matter how many times I think about that, it still blows my mind.
Once my body is able to return to normal, which will take a few months, up to 2 of the embryos will be thawed, they'll begin dividing again, and then they'll be implanted with a 55% chance of a viable pregnancy.
55%. World-class doctors, all this medicine, all these detailed processes, and it's still only a little over a 50-50 chance. It's amazing how much of childbirth remains a mystery to us. As much as we'd like it to be, this is not in our control, and God has to be in every step of this process.
So here we are, launching this campaign, asking for you to partner with us in this journey for prayer and financial support. In prayer, we'd first ask that you join us in boldly praying that this intricate, miraculous process would be successful and lead to implantation and a healthy pregnancy.
We'd ask for prayer for Emily's health throughout this process. There have been complications in recent months with her coming out of general anesthesia, and if we were to succeed in getting pregnant, she would need to give herself a blood thinning shot every day. As well, the emotional, financial, and physical strain can make for a tense climate at home, so prayers that we relate to each other humbly would be huge, as well as for grace to accept God's plan and timing as good and right, no matter the outcome.
And finally, we'd ask that you pray for Mallory. She has long wanted a sibling, but she's also spent a lot of time getting used to our current family dynamic, being an only child. Prayers that she would feel greatly loved by us and others throughout this process would be appreciated.
In addition to the prayers, we are vulnerably and humbly asking for your financial support. All the doctor, hospital, and medicine costs add up very quickly, and our insurance provides no coverage for fertility treatments. Altogether, we're looking at about $13,000 for the IVF procedure, as well as additional costs surrounding what would be a higher risk pregnancy. Some of you have already expressed a desire to support us financially, so this campaign makes it easy for you to give if you choose, easy for us to ask for prayer, and easy to share our story, not only with you, our friends and family, but hopefully with others who are walking the same journey.
If there's been one thing that this process has taught us, it's that we are most definitely not in control and that we have to live in hourly dependence on God. Despite the many opportunities I've had to practice that, I'm still pretty bad at it.
And if I'm being honest, that's the last place I find myself wanting to be most of the time. It truly is not optional to have people surrounding us, keeping us constantly in prayer and reminding us of His promises.
So we hope now that you've seen this video, you'll consider walking alongside us and that you'll spread the word so that even more people can hear our story.
We can't claim to understand the reasons that God chose this as part of our story, but one thing that we see coming out of this is our ability to connect with, encourage, and support others who are walking the same difficult path in a way that we otherwise wouldn't be able to.
And we would hope that hearing our story would enable you to do the same, to come away with a fuller understanding of what this journey might look like and be better equipped to support those around you who walk it as well.